chewing gum, please get rid of it before you come into the courtroom. There's a trash can outside.
I don't think you'll get it. We'll sit up here with Molly.
Good morning,
Morning.
Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Just a couple of housekeeping matters. First, Judge, the microphone at the council table is somehow there again, and it's on, and the defense can't really communicate at all.
Yeah, I think it's too late to do anything. There's a push button there to stop it. So for today, you're going to have to deal with that, I think. So.
Can we just have it clear for the court personnel, logistics people, because they said something that Your Honor this morning has said.
Yeah,
we're going to have it.
It's a problem throughout in making a record and taking things down. But for today, we'll talk about it again. But for today, just if you would, just press the button if you want to communicate. And let's see this. Go ahead. The
second issue, Judge, is we have a new member of the defense team who has filed a notice of appearance, Mr. Cheney Mason.
Yeah, I see the notice of appearance. How you doing?
I'm good.
What kept you? All right.
And eventually you get tired of seeing what's going on. So here I am.
All right, so Mr. Mason has filed a notice of appearance. Any other housekeeping matters before we get to the motion at hand?
No, Judge.
All right, this is Ms. Anthony's motion to determine indigent for costs. I've got your motion, the affidavit. I've got a response from Jack. Speaking of which, have they called in?
Yes, they are.
Do we have them with us now? Okay. Who is with us from Jack's?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Brett Bishop. I'm the District Commission.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't understand that.
You can't hear it. I can't hear it. I got fresh batteries.
Okay. Let's try. Can you hear me, sir? Okay, this is Judge Strickland. We have, I don't know if the connection's bad, but it's largely inaudible. Let's try again. What's your name? Okay. Are you speaking to us on a speakerphone, or do you have the receiver? Let's try that, because I'm having difficulty understanding you. It's a little better. Let's see what we can do, and if this doesn't work, we'll have to try something else. But let's go ahead. I've got the motion. I've got Jack's response. Who's arguing the motion?
I am.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, there is no dispute that Casey Anthony is indigent and entitled to the due process funding of her case. We're not seeking attorney's fees. It's no secret I have filed an appearance in this case. I've been asked to join it. I'm doing it pro bono. So there's no $1 million worry here. We're interested in costs to ensure that she has a fair trial, just like the state has this budget. I can tell you Mr. Wesley is over here, the public defender, who has advised us that his office can't afford to do this case, and he's willing to confirm that with you. All we're seeking is the confirmation of Ms. Anthony's indigency, which should not be in dispute, and then we'll deal with the necessary cost issues, which we would like to take up in camera, because I don't intend to argue things that has to reveal all of the defense strategy to the press, to the state, or anybody else. We're entitled to do that, so I'd ask you, you have the clerk's certificate. You know from your rulings in this case that Ms. Anthony is, in fact, indigent. She's been in jail for close to 2 years, no assets, no money. There can be no dispute about that. The only issue later will be with the JAC, perhaps, in dealing with cost issues. And to that end, like I said, we'd like to discuss that in camera, and we can come back out as you choose, obviously, but we'd like to do that first before we go further with that.
All right, let me hear from the gentleman with Jack. Sir, go ahead. What's your position? Sir, can you hear me okay? We're
Judge, this court acted as a person who's got some solution plan.
Yeah, come on up.
We didn't know that this testimony was going to be like this, but we have assisted listening device here.
Okay.
Can you put the phone on hold, please?
Well, I'm more interested in the court reporter being able to hear what she...
Is it on hold? Press and hold the normal button until it blinks for about 4 or 5 seconds. have the person speak on the phone, please?
Okay, let's have our,
No. Oh, well, yeah, it's on hold, right? It should be in the PA. Speak.
mine is, what does that mean?
It should be in the PA now.
Is he on the phone with us?
Okay, it's
All right.
in the PA now.
Sir, can you hear us? We can hear you fine now. All right. They never should.
I can't understand it.
Sir, let me just ask you to speak a little bit slower, and we'll try this one more time. For some reason, it's just sort of coming out garbled. Please speak a little bit slower, and we'll try this yet again. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't get that last sentence.
Slow down a little bit. Sir? Sir? They never show this on Law and Order. Sir, can you hear me okay? We're really having a tough time. I don't want to reschedule this and have a live appearance. I'd like to finalize it today. This is no fault of yours, but just slow down just a little bit, if you would, so our court reporter can keep up with us. Okay. I know it's hard to do and you've got a lot to say, but give it your best shot. A little slower. Hold on. Nothing? All right, let me stop you for a second again. Is there a way to do electronic recording?
That would be with the court reporters downstairs. We can tell them.
Can we delay and see if we can get electronic recording, and we'll just do our best. And between you and them, maybe we can get a record. That's fine. Will it be just a moment?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It seems like the sound is coming from up there, and I just can't hear it well enough to make it record.
I don't dispute what you're saying.
I'm glad younger people can't do any better than I can.
Yeah. Counsel, this isn't your fault. We're just having some difficulty here, and we're going to see if we can get a dual recording going on here, so that if our live court reporter is unable to get it, we should be able to get something off the.
I think the speakers are here, so perhaps the court reporter moved back.
One here.
There's not one above her, though. If she can get under a speaker, I think she'll be able to hear that. Because I can hear it pretty well here, and I'm 50. So.
Let's once we're set up with both systems intact, maybe if you move.
Very good.
Yeah. Would that make it better? Well, I don't know.
I can hear him better over here.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue, and if we get the electronic recorders working, I guess that'll be a bonus. But let's try again. Again, sir. I hate to keep doing this to you. Let's kind of pick up where you left off, though, and you were basically saying your general thoughts, if you would go from that and then into the statute and any concerns that you have.
sorry, I didn't hear that statement. He's mumbling.
All right, just go ahead, sir.
This is what you already did.
Sir, you're into attorney's fees. We're just talking about costs here. That's not really the focus the court is making today. This is just on the cost to go forward. It sounds like you're talking about prospective fees. Okay, what else you want to tell me? Anything else? All right, Mr. Ashton, Ms. Drain, do you want to be heard?
Good morning, Judge. Good morning. You may recall that back on March of 2009, there was an in-camera hearing held. At that hearing, Your Honor was told of a specific, relatively specific monetary amount that had been received by the defense or by Mr. Baez. If you recall that amount does not jive with the affidavit that's been filed by Mr. Baez. There seems to be some money missing or unaccounted for that I think the court should take into account, or at least inquire about. Also, the JAC may be privy to or may be able to use a transcript of that hearing if the court sees a need for it. But before you make a decision, if you recall that hearing, there is some money outstanding that the court should make an inquiry about.
Okay. Did the public defender want to be heard in this?
Judge, I came over just to give you a little lay of the land on the financial picture. Our cost money for this fiscal year will be expended this month, and it has not already been spent. There was a sweep of about $2 million from State Attorney Trust Fund statewide, and about $2 million from Public Defender Trust Fund statewide to supplement the two process fund for these appointed counsel. So it's come from us, but we're shorthanded now. I've been asked repeatedly over the last week or so about normal case cost, and every case is different. But the representation of that we're not in a position now to fund the litigation is exactly true.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Mr. Mason. You've read the affidavit, have you not?
I've read, I understand. I wasn't here, of course, when you already vetted this business about the little bit of money that has been paid to the defense team, and it's all way gone and way upside down. And counsel for JAC either didn't hear, which is, given the circumstances, probably accurate. None of the lawyers on this team are seeking any attorney's fees at all.
Still,
so all we're talking about is ensuring that we have the ability to have the experts, the depositions, the necessary travel, and those things, which we will present to you. And we're asked
Here's
you
my
to...
problem. Your affidavit's pretty thin. There's not much here. I don't know much about this. I mean, I kind of know about the source of the prior monies paid. There's not much of an accounting given to me here. It says Mr. Baez, I think, at $89,000, I think, and Ms. Lyon for, I guess, travel expenses got $22,500. But I don't know much about the rest of the money and how it was spent or what happened to it. In other words, this affidavit that I'm looking at, it's pretty light in terms of full disclosure.
My understanding is you already did that. We'd be happy to have in camera with you to explain any aspect of it there is.
Well,
I can tell you there is no money, and she is indigent, and whether or not we cause the JAC to pay in the future for costs or expenses would be individual applications at that time.
Well, I'm not sure. Here, my problem is you're seeking public funds and kind of trying to punch and get out of the way at the same time. You know, you want these funds, but I don't have much about the source of what happened in the past and where that money went. So
I'm not seeking any public funds today, Judge. As I said, the lawyers are appearing pro bono. So therefore, it's nobody's business about what we're doing or not doing unless you can show that money previously paid was used improperly. I thought you already had a hearing on that, and if you haven't had enough on that, then I've got Mr. Baez and Ms. Lyons here for the purpose of providing that information
and
to
they
you.
need to, because the affidavit that I have is insufficient.
All right.
And how money was spent in the past does have a bearing on what I intend to do now. If they were given X amount in the past, and that's not well accounted for, why would I want to entrust them with the public's money?
And there's another way to deal with that.
Go ahead.
Well, I think you'll trust me.
A novel position, but yeah, that's fine.
Am I right?
Of course I trust
Okay.
you. That has
Now-
nothing to do with me handing over public
Okay, so
money.
now let me say this. There's a process for appointing a special master to keep the strategies of the defense and what they want to spend money on away from the prosecution. And we would suggest, and this has been done before, we would suggest that to keep it pure where we're doing, you may want to consider appointing Mr. Wesley as a special master to vet whether or not these fees are proper.
Mr. Ashton laughed.
I don't care what the ignorant say. I'm telling you what the law is.
I will. thought that would be lighthearted.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, and I also none of that helps me with the affidavit that I'm looking at.
Fine, then we go in and have it in camera and
I
present
don't think
that
so. No,
testimony.
I think it needs to be out here in open court.
All right.
So if they want to tell me about what happened in the past, the court's willing to listen.
I'm willing to talk to them
All right.
about that.
And remember, you need to press that button there if you don't want.
We have 5 minutes to talk.
Absolutely. If you need a break and you need to go outside, that's
Yes,
fine.
sir.
All right, that's fine.
Probably about outside, unless there's a room we can go in with some privacy.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
You got a key for all these conference rooms?
Yeah, whatever.
Why don't you just go to the jury room?